What's going on, fishy friends? Alright, wanted to shoot a quick thank you video to all my subscribers. Just reached a pretty big milestone in my opinion. Broke 2,000 subscribers. I am humbled and honestly surprised that so many of you care to see what the heck I'm doing down here in the basement fish room. Thank you for following along. Thank you to all the old subscribers. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to anybody that watches. Thank you to anybody that comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So besides thanking everybody for watching and following along as always, I figured I'd do a quick little update while we're down here, and specifically I want to talk about the discus tank over here that I've been treating with some meds after noticing that issue recently. So let's think now. To recap quickly, I've noticed one of these 4 discus had what I initially and most likely incorrectly assumed were some gill flukes. One gill on the fish was severely inflamed, and it almost looked like there was like fin rot happening, but specifically to the gill area. It was all red and swollen, and since it seemed to only affect the gill area, I initially assumed it was a parasite like gill flukes, and I had done some anti-parasitic medicine, specifically some Prazipro and some Metroplex. I actually used that in each and every tank around the fish room. I also fed these fish, as well as a few others, some frozen foods that I medicated myself with some powdered Metroplex. That didn't really seem to take care of the problem, so I started dosing some antibiotics. Specifically, I was using Maricin and Maricin 2. Now Maricin, I've been told by other YouTubers and other people in this hobby, Maricin is erythromycin, which is an antibiotic, just like the doctor might prescribe you when you get sick. And apparently erythromycin, I forget if it treats gram-negative or gram-positive bacteria, but supposedly it does not harm the beneficial bacteria in the filters. Now Maricin 2, I am not 100% sure what the exact antibiotic is, and I do not know of anyone who can specifically tell me it doesn't harm the beneficial bacteria. The documentation, the paperwork that comes in the box, claims that it theoretically is okay and doesn't harm nitrospirobacteria, which is the specific bacteria that actually does all the work in an aquarium filter and handles the nitrogen cycle, converting ammonia to nitrite and then nitrite to nitrate. Now here we are on day 3. Today should be my 3rd dose of the antibiotic, 5-day total treatment. And what I did was I fasted the fish during the first treatment of the anti-parasite meds. Then I fed them for a couple of days, did real big water changes. Then I was fasting them again for this 5-day treatment because I wouldn't be doing water changes for the 5 days that they were treated. So I fast them so that way they don't eat, don't foul up the tank, and theoretically can make it through a 5-day period without any water changes. Now here we are on day 3, and I got home to find this incredibly cloudy tank. To me, this looks like a bacterial bloom, which most likely to me indicates that the meds did in fact wipe out the bacteria in these filters. Hopefully the colony is keeping up with itself, so to say. I'm not 100% sure what my next course of action is going to be. I'm not sure, excuse me, if I'm going to go ahead and do a big water change today and then go ahead with my 4th dose of the antibiotic. I will say this though, the gill on that fish all of a sudden looks much better today. It no longer has the white, stringy isn't really the right word for this, but it almost looked like the gill membrane was exiting the fish through the gill there. It was hanging out of the gill. There was multiple layers of skin hanging out of that gill on the right side of the fish, our left side, his right. It doesn't look 100% better, but it does look a lot better than it had been. So this is leading me to believe that I am dealing with a bacterial infection here, and hopefully using these antibiotics is the right choice. Now I just hope I don't cause any harm to these other 3 fish. I felt it necessary to leave them in the tank while I treat the one, because theoretically whatever was affecting that one fish is infecting this whole tank and affecting all the other fish that are in it. So it seems silly to me to pull these fish and not treat them the same way. Hopefully that doesn't end up being a mistake. It'll probably be a couple of days before I get this video posted, so by the time it posts, I'll probably already have my answer as to what I'm going to do today. I'm leaning towards doing a big water change and then going ahead with day 4 of the antibiotic. At least on the plus side, the other 3 fish don't look like they are being negatively affected by this. I will say none of the other fish in the fish room seemed to have been negatively affected by the antiparasitic medicine. I think I mentioned I lost 1 neon tetra. That could just be a coincidence. It might have nothing to do with the meds, but I can't say for sure. So the other 3 fish are showing no symptoms of anything, and the one fish that was affected, again, he's not 100% healed, but it's definitely doing better than it was. He's got some attitude again. He's been nipping around at these other fish. Chances are he's probably hungry. He was pretty weak and lethargic and kind of hiding by himself, and he might not have been eating so well in the past couple of days or weeks before I really noticed what was going on. He might not have eaten so well for the couple of days that I did feed these guys after fasting them for that first 5-day period. So only time will tell. Fingers crossed that everybody will make it out of this. And that's it. Alright guys, comment, rate, subscribe. I'll keep everybody updated on what's going on with this tank and my general doings in the fish room as always. Later guys.